Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back here Thursday night. We're doing an episode of not quite what we hoped for. So on this episode, I pick an album out that I like, but in my mind, it never really reached where I thought it was going to go when I initially got it. I thought it was going to be way up here. It just didn't quite make that. And so I've chosen an album today. It actually took me a while to find where I put it, because I put it in my playlist out in the kitchen, and I checked every album on this rack and everywhere trying to find it, and eventually I was about to give up, and there it was. So the album is Steely Dan's Katy Lied. Yeah, it's kind of a blurry album too, so obviously it's a katydid or maybe a locust or a grasshopper on the cover here. You can see that up close, and it's in the greenery. So it has a 10 songs on the back. So just so a brief explanation about this album. So my first Steely Dan album that I owned was this one, Steely Dan's Pretzel Logic. I absolutely adored the album. And so the next one that I owned that was highly recommended was this one, Katy Lied. So I thought this is going to be as good as that one. And it was a good album. I did like it. It was in my playlist for quite a bit. But I just didn't find it as memorable. It just really didn't capture my attention. I'm not sure why. Good stuff on here. Black Friday, Rose Darling, Daddy Don't Live in That New York City No More. Yeah, good tune. Your Gold Teeth, Chain Lightning. I mean, it's got some good stuff on here. But I kind of had this feeling after Pretzel Logic that this one was considered better, and a lot of people said it was a better album. I just had a feeling it was going to knock it out of the park for me. And when I got to actually listening to it, I thought, okay, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to build up. I mean, this is produced by Gary Katz. Of course, all your songs are arranged by Walter Becker and Donald Fagen. So I thought, yeah, and it's highly rated, and it was my next album. I was excited to listen to it. I just thought, this is going to knock it out of the park. This is going to be the Steely Dan that really puts them up there. And it just didn't do it. It just fell flat for me. There's, like I said, there's some stuff on here I really like. Some stuff I like quite a bit, but I just don't feel like it got. My expectations were probably very high, and it just didn't make it there. And I still like it, but it's not one of the Steely Dan albums I reach for. Anyways, so that's the album we did for today. Steely Dan's Katy Lied. Now, this came out in 1975, so it's been out there for 49 years already. It still sounds pretty damn good too. As you can see, it's in great shape. I like the green part on the inside, the cover art on the album. It's got this little booklet. Most of the albums do now. This one I like quite a bit because it folds right out, almost like a poster. And you just get all the songs and all the members of the band here going on. I mean, really, at this point, there's only Walter Becker and Donald Fagen left, but Jeff Porcaro also plays on this album from Toto. You've got Mike McDonald of King Crimson fame. I'm pretty sure it's him. You've got Gary Katz, who produced the album. Roger Nichols on here as well. Yeah, so it's a really solid album with a lot of good parts to it. Well orchestrated, well put together. But then again, it really didn't. I think it's a bit of a disappointment only because it didn't really quite get where I thought it was going to go. And then, I got the next one I got was their debut album, which really knocked it out of the park. So it was sandwiched in from two albums that really had a big effect on me, and it didn't have one itself. So there you go. Katy Lied by Steely Dan. Good album, but not really what I hoped for. So I hope you'll like this episode of Not What I Hoped For. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell. And you can put any comments about this album or Steely Dan or any other albums if you want in the comment section below. And I will be back. Well, we have no show tomorrow because the ranking the albums have come finished, and Dan's still away. Ben is still away on his travels, and I decided not to put anything in here. So tomorrow we won't have anything, but we'll be back with a visit from my good friend Brother Murphy. He's going to come back and do a psychedelic snack for me. We haven't done one of them for, God, it's been probably about a year. So he's going to come back in and do this album, Atomic Rooster. I left it here for him to find easily. So I hope to see you all on Saturday for that. And we'll talk to you then. So have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.